Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the iRacing Esports Network and welcome to the Apex Racing League Touring Car Championship, round 8 of 13. We are gradually getting into the final quarter of the season, and we're here today at Laguna Seca, the Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca, for 3 more races. Reverse grids to factor into the equation as well, and it's been a while since we've been to Monterey, California to take on the Corkscrew. In the commentary box, as always, for the 3 races tonight, alongside me, Adam Buff, is, of course, former ARLTC winner Andrew Woodhouse. Won on this very continent, on the North American continent in Montreal. But with you, mate, we are a long way from Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. We're out out on the wild west coast for this one.
Yeah, it's a lot warmer here, I think. Good evening, everybody. Welcome. Yeah, I love this track. It's a brilliant place to go racing. We've got massive elevation changes. We've got some slow corners, some fast corners. We've got a brilliant downhill section after the Corkscrew. And it suits touring car racing. I think there's plenty of overtaking opportunities. And we're going to see some fun action, I think, here tonight, especially in the reverse grid races, I think.
Yeah, we saw plenty of great racing at the Charlotte Roval last week. 3 races there. That was a new venue, and well, it was crazy. We had someone who was in 3rd in the final corner, taking victory on the run to the line in Wojciech Savidovic, and we did have a few newcomers to the series as well. One of them we were looking at there. That was Corentin Guinness, HM Engineering, in 2nd place in the practice session at the moment, and well, the newcomers, they really put on a show here, and it looks like they're carrying on that form here tonight at Laguna Seca as well.
Yeah, what a finish that was in the in Charlotte Motor Speedway, and Savidovic just nicking that one right at the end. Can he do it again? Well, there's a crash there at the Corkscrew, but can he do it again, Wojciech Savidovic? I don't know. But it's great to see the new drivers out there. HM Engineering in particular have been very quick. And if this is the first of many series for them, then I feel like they're going to be very strong indeed. They've already got Harrison. They've already got Smith. They've already got... Oh, there's someone else that I'm forgetting. Leitner as well. Yeah, that's right. And now Corentin Guinness of France, with a very good I rating. It's only 7,000, so Adam, I'm sure he's going to be in the reckoning today.
That was one of them as well. Gerstenberg too. I think might be a new addition for this week as well. So you're plenty to watch out for. There is Fraser Smith in the HM Engineering car, just going up the Rahal Hill, all while trying to almost ending up in the wilderness there as he clatters into the tyre barrier. This is practice, let's not forget. So he's not going to be punished as much because this is just the practice session. The qualifying session is coming up soon. There's Rickard Karlsson driving for Hell Racers, the Swede in 29th place, one of the Pro-Am drivers with the blue markings on the timing tower. We've got the championship standings to hand, and it is very good if you're Dave Baker. He was a champion a few years ago, and he was one of the final champions before we moved to this to the previous format of the showdown. So the change in the rules, he's going to be pretty happy with them at the moment, because he's top of the standings by a couple of points, by 9 points over Ross McFarlane, the reigning champion, in 2nd. Then it's an 11-point gap back to Wojciech Savidovic, the winner of that crazy race 2 last time out, in 3rd. Then Matt Turnbull and Oscar Mangan joint 4th with 1,150 points each. Ross Balfour 6th, Kieran Harrison 7th, Jack Sedgwick 8th, and then Team Chimera's Simon Trendell and Jason Cooper completing the top 10. And every one of those drivers in the top 10 is pretty much, I'd say, championship material. That's what's going to make it so exciting over the final 5 or so rounds of the season. And there is the Pro-Am Championship as well, with Mark Johnston, a slightly healthier lead in the Pro-Am Championship as opposed to the Pro, with a 49-point cushion between Johnston and Rickard Karlsson, who we were looking at there a moment ago, with Mark Woodhouse in 3rd, John Roberts 4th, and Toby Ward in 5th place in the standings there.
Yeah, and it's been a strong campaign in the AM category, especially for several drivers. It's going to be fun to see them get underway here, isn't it? I think all these cars charging down to the Andretti hairpin in about 20 minutes time. We're going out for qualifying, and it's the customary dash out of the pit lane, isn't it?
Indeed it is, especially at this track. And the pit lane exit is notoriously difficult because there is a gravel trap on the outside of it, and especially in these cars with the cold tyres and cold brakes, if you're not too careful, you could skate across it, get a black flag for an unsafe pit exit, and then have to go all the way back to the beginning again. But everyone so far, including Ben Gregory, who are on board with Free Spires Motorsports, taking that pit lane exit with a good degree of caution, and they're out and immediately starting to get the tyres warmed up on a surface which, from memory, is pretty dusty, pretty abrasive as well. Very dusty and very difficult to get the tyres up to temperature.
Yeah, and when you do get the tyres up to temperature, of course, you've got many quite harsh corners, really, where the tyres can be worn out quite a lot. So it's a balance between warming those tyres up over the first 2 or 3 laps of the stint, and then actually trying to conserve them so that you've got some left at the end of the race, because this track is a nightmare if you lose grip, especially at the end of the stint, as Jamie Rushworth, you see, going through the corkscrew.
Very short lap here at Laguna Seca as well. Fastest times in practice. Now that was a 1:29.6 once again by Kieran Harrison. Tell you what, if there were points handed out for practice, he would be right up there in terms of where Dave Baker and Ross McFarlane are. He is always on it right out of the box when it comes to practice, but then it's just about trying to make sure he gets the best possible qualifying, and we'll see if he can do that here today. He's following around one of those new drivers that we were talking about, one of those up-and-coming drivers as well, and that is Guinness in front of him. And this is going to be an interesting to see how these guys get on in the first few moments when this qualifying session gets properly underway. It's a 15-minute session, and then we'll be going straight into race 1. When the checkered flag falls, that is it. You do not get to finish your lap if you're on one in this series. The qualifying session advances straight to the race once the flag falls.
Yeah, and that catches, it can catch a lot of people out. That's for sure. It's not always easy to time your laps, as many drivers have found throughout this series. Turnbull then currently fastest, but let's see, Guinness then coming across. Start his lap. Sorry, to finish his lap, 1:31.3. Yep. Out lap for him.
Oh, Oscar Manger goes up to second, 6 thousandths of a second off Corentin Guinness there. Ross McFarlane second in the championship, 31.2, putting in the time straight away.
Mangum was very sideways through the Andretti hairpin, so I feel like he's not really in terrific shape at the moment. But again, it's just the first lap. Into the uphill section then. 2 left-handers, one slightly slower than the other. This is a real commitment corner, this. Throw the car in, and you hope you don't run too wide. If you do run wide, then you will get your time invalidated. And this is a difficult braking zone, Adam. They're going to swing to the right, try to brake in a straight line if humanly possible, and then throw the car into the corkscrew. And this is the best section on the course for me, this one.
Yeah, great flying down the hill. Love this corner. Just make sure you don't run out wide on the exit. And then this penultimate corner, which you can really attack, it's really banked in your favour. And then the run into the final corner here, where you can really send it. I remember in the Rallycross series that we ran a couple of years ago, I was able to, I think, almost pull off 3 in 1 up the inside there.
Until you missed the gear.
Yeah,
That's what happened with the Yeah, that's what happened. Put paid to that.
It's looking so good. Speaking of looking good, it's Kieran Harrison, fastest in practice, and currently provisionally fastest in qualifying here, 30.897. Gives him a 1.5 advantage over Carl Janssen as the session reaches the 1/3 mark, 5 minutes into it.
I'm sure we're going to expect a really, really close race as well, Adam, considering what went down in Charlotte. And of course, you know, these American tracks, they always provide thrills and spills, and we've seen that many, many times here with Laguna. I remember that massive pile-up. Do you remember the first race that we were on Motors TV? And there was that huge pile-up on the way down to the first corner.
Had a dramatic finish, that one as well, didn't it? It looked like it was going to be a Colin Cunniff's win until a late slowdown penalty. When it went to, did he go to his compatriot Graham Carroll?
Yeah, he did. Graham Carroll took the win in that one after Cunniff was disqualified, and Cunniff would later get his win, but it did take a little bit longer than he would have liked. Congratulations to Colin as well on the birth of his child recently.
Yeah, I second that. If it was today, then a lot of good people are born on this day. As
oh yes, of course. Happy birthday, Adam. I completely neglected to mention that on the broadcast. So yeah, happy birthday, Adam. I hope you've had a good day, mate.
Oh, this is the best way to end it, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Always with some touring cars, mate. Touring cars make any day better.
Definitely. Especially for the action as good as we've had this season. I'll tell you what, we've really served up a treat here. Oscar Van Gen getting to within 28 thousandths of McFarlane, so it's there you go. Thanks a lot to Sam there for that graphic. It's the row of M squared. McFarlane and Mangan currently on the front row of the grid, with Guinness third and Turnbull now in fourth place.
In happier news, I've actually managed to sort out my display so I can actually see what's going on this week as McFarlane goes down the final sector, and again, brilliant sequence of corners and into the final left-hander, very tight corner. It does open out. It's funny because everyone thinks it's sort of a hairpin, but it's not much more than about a 90. Well, it's just over a 90-degree corner, isn't it? Just under, sorry. And that's where positions can be won and lost, that's for sure. Carl Janssen of Sweden goes to the top. Quentin Guinness, Frenchman, in his first outing, well, second outing in the ARLTC, currently occupying a spot on the front row of the grid. A spot which is not easy to get to, Adam, especially in this company, because this is a tremendous field, it really is.
Race 1 is going to be really interesting. I think we could see vibes to Zolder, because that was a race where everybody really followed everybody round. And with the hot temperatures that we're going to get here as well, it could all be about the tyre conservation, especially when we get to the end of the races too. But yeah, with the times that are getting set here in this session, is up into second place goes Vlad Kimichev there with a 1:30.5. So very international field to the front of the grid here. We've got what looks like that's Norway, isn't it, with Janssen?
I think he's Swedish, Janssen, isn't he?
Yes,
I believe, but I think that's the Scandinavian club flag, as far as much as I'm aware on that one.
With Kimichev for Russia and now in fourth, as Harrison and Turnbull now set their lap times. McFarlane up into third place. Goodness me, it's like watching the F1 esports all over again here, with the difference in times, 15 thousandths between Janssen and Harrison, and then McFarlane just a further 16 thousandths away from the Briton in seconds. Turnbull within a tenth of a second as well of the pole position time, and this is with 5 minutes to go as well, so I think things could get even closer here.
yeah, we haven't seen a Russian at the front of the grid in this championship before, but we have seen victories for two Bulgarians, Alex Smolensky and Stelian Chepelevsky.
Yeah, Chepelevsky was pretty good in this car a few years ago. Pretty good in the Kia as well. He drove it when we just when we first started covering the series, and then back in its final few days before it was replaced by the Audi. And dear me, the car did undergo quite a lot of changes in that time. We remember when stick it in some cold conditions, and it was like driving on ice back when we started covering the series. Oh my goodness me, yeah. And now we've got the Audi, which is incredibly difficult to get off the line, and it takes a while to get the tyres up to temperature. But somebody who has, it's Corentin Guinness with a 130.2. What can Carl Janssen do in response to that? He can improve, but only fractionally, and it's not enough to knock the Frenchman off the pole position place at the moment with a 130.422, just over a tenth away. Balfour there in 5th, Trendle up to 9th, McFarlane up into 2nd, and within a tenth of Corentin Guinness there with a 130.375, so the times continue to tumble. No pun intended. Yeah.
Very good. We're at it again already. This Ashton goes 15th. Alex Simpson goes 11th as well, just 4 tenths off of pole. For Alex, good to see him back after not taking part last week. Not exactly sure why, but you know, you mentioned earlier on that this is one of the shorter laps of the season, and you know, it should mean that the final few minutes of qualifying might be even closer than normal. Although, you know, traditionally this is the kind of time of the session, isn't it, when the times suddenly stop tumbling, and Guinness could be in a very, very good position with his lap, because there might not be much left in the tyres for these Audis.
See if the Frenchman can improve then. How much tyre life has he got left? Over the line, 30.2 is his personal best. Can he improve on that? The answer to that is no. But Ross Balfour has set a green box.
Has he done a 30.29 again?
It's hard to tell from our timing screen. Harrison has improved. Balfour and Harrison straight in there, 130.1. Can we get to the 29?
Turnbull above Guinness as well. It's onto the front row for Matti Turnbull. Facundo Britos is in there as well. The Argentine. We've had a couple of Argentines in the series. Jose Malbran was here for a while. Britos into the top 20. And that's excellent in this company, I tell you. For the IRS racing team. Do your taxes every Monday. Who's the team principal? Owen R. Shyster? Who knows?
I have a to-do pile.
If anybody gets that reference, by the way, either of those references, please tell us, because we would be very happy. Jake Blackhall in 14th place as well. Kimichev is still in 8th place ahead of Mangan. Tell you what, the new drivers to the series, Adam, you mentioned them at the start, but look at the names in the top 10. You know, populating the top 10. Harrison, Turnbull, Guinness, Janssen's kind of a new old face. Kimichev and Trendell. I mean, those guys either haven't been in the series before or haven't been in the series for a very long time.
And they're doing a fantastic job, aren't they? Yeah, the Audi. It looked like for any drivers that arrived in the Kia, it did take them a while to get to grips with it. But some of these new drivers in the Audi, they seem to be on it from the get-go. One thing that is interesting to see is that we don't have too many Pro-Am drivers in the top 20. I think the highest is Nathan Davis, who is down in 24th place. So this is a qualifying session that is being dominated a lot more than usual by the drivers with the red banding.
You know, this series used to be one where people could turn up and do quite well for a one-off race, or every now and again. I'm looking at these I ratings on here. My word. I mean, Harrison's got 5,500, Balfour 7,000, Turnbull 6,000, 6,800 for Guinness, nearly 6,000 for McFarlane, 7,500 for Janssen, 7,000 for Simmons. I mean, this is World Championship quality I ratings coming in here for these boys here.
that's the end of the session. And the checkered flag has come out, and we're now almost set to go for the first race of the day. So the best in the business have done their best lap times, and let's see how they line up. Harrison then on pole for HM Engineering, fastest in practice, fastest in qualifying, with Ross Balfour second, then Matt Turnbull, Corrington, Guinness there completing the second row of the grid, Ross McFarlane, Carl Janssen, just a couple of hundredths in it between those two, and then Simmons, Vlad Kimichev, Oscar Mangan in ninth, and Simon Trendle completing the top 10, just half a second covering the top 10 on the grid there. Wojciech Savinovic 11th, 12th for Dennis Neidhart. After that, it's Alex Simpson with Jake Blackhall, two fellow colleagues there in 13th and 14th. Ash Sutton in 15th, then Jason Stethney, Jack Sedgwick, Jason Cooper, Dave Baker, championship leader there in 19th, and Facundo Britosh in 20th. 21st for Mark Johnston, he's the highest AM driver in the end. He was able to get ahead of Nathan Davis. Then Damian Harris, JB Masida, Jamie Wilson for Team Chimera in 24th place. Then it's Nathan Davis and Rickard Carlson. Pete Newman, Thomas Gerstenberg, Jamie Rushworth there, 29th. Craig Williams in 30th place for Craig Setup Shop. Marcel Fritsch and Marius Breuer, two Deutsch Diach members in 31st and 32nd, different teams. Mark Woodhouse, Ben Gregory, and the rest of the grid lining up on your screen. We've got 49 cars entered in for this one today. Some big names towards the rear of the field as well, the likes of Norbert Leitner, Fraser Smith, Azam Hadfield, Brendan Valler, Michael Abdoka, Luke Kidsley and Simon Field, all not setting times due to discretions they must have surely picked up at the 3 races last time out at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Yes, and there were a few discretions, maybe not as many as we were expecting. Right then, here we go everybody, strap yourselves in. 49 Audi RS3s tackling Laguna Seca. Now! Harrison with a decent start. Balfour got away initially very well, but Turnbull's second phase was excellent, and he drives past the Core Sim Racing car into the first corner. Hit the Andretti hairpin, up the inside goes Guinness as he's trying to make a move on Balfour, and he gets through as well. And the Northern Irishman down to 4th then. Already from second on the grid, Janssen trying to go around the outside then as well. The spinner at the back of the field, and I think it might be Kip Stevens as well. But here we go into the infield, Adam. Oh, there's some smoke. Massive car in the gravel.
Yeah, fiercely forward car, and I think that was Jack Sedgwick as well. Awful start for Kimichev. Not too sure what happened. That might be the inexperience with getting the front wheel drive off the line, but he has lost. It's horrendous. He's lost 7 places away from the line. He's down to 15th, but and he's trying to get some of those places back, starting with Jake Blackhall in front of him. But here we go, up over the top of the hill and into the corkscrew for the first time.
One thing that the drivers, as Britos gives Kimichev a little bit of a love tap. I think there's a crash at it's Johnston. And he might have had some assistance from the Swift Cooper car, because the Swift Cooper car is in the gravel on the other side. I think that might actually be Jason Cooper. Yeah, it is. Well off. Those two are miles off.
Valler started at the back, and
that's .exe, that's Breuer.
Yeah. How on earth those two managed to meet, I'm not too sure. They were a good few places apart.
Harrison leads then from Turnbull, Guinness, and Balfour, McFarlane, Janssen, Simmons, Mangan, Trendell, and Wojciech Savinovic in 10th. Who's made a good start? Britos has made a good start then. 4 places gained for him, 5 gained for Nathan Davis and Rickard Carlson. Craig Williams up 8 places. JB Masida up 4 places as well. And off goes Ash Sutton, briefly. Oh, what's that? That, I can hear crashing, Adam.
Oh, it might
have been locking up, and it's Janssen.
Yeah. Janssen and Mangan. Well, those two, I believe, are teammates, and it's a cardinal sin, isn't it, to take out your teammate. Fortunately, they're both still on the track, and it looks like without too much damage, but it looks like Mangan's definitely come off the worst there. He's lost a handful of places and is down to 11th, with Ash Sutton right behind him now as we go on board with the former VTCC champion, with groans and goodness knows what else flying towards us.
You can hear the gravel just pounding off the front of the Audi. And this is going to be something that, you know, we've talked about in the past around here. The runoff areas is gravel, it's sand, and it's some, you know, it is dusty out here. We are in Northern California, what's pretty much the desert, and it's a very arid place here. And so the amount of detritus and rubbish that gets put on the racing line throughout the meeting, Adam, it means that it quite quickly becomes, well, only one safe line. You can overtake here, but you've got to do it at your own risk.
Yeah, and I believe the track conditions get transferred across to race 2 and race 3. So by the time we get to race 3, a lot of the stuff that you see off the track will probably be on it.
Do you remember the Indian Grand Prix?
Yeah,
that was a bit like that, wasn't it? There was a lot of dust offline there, and that's why the drivers were finding it very difficult to make overtaking moves, even into corners where ordinarily you'd think it was very, very possible. It takes some time. It takes a few drivers to try and make those moves before those lines get completely rubbered in. Guinness has got ahead of Balfour then. Into the corkscrew. Oh, they're late on the brakes. This is super precise. Great driving. Oh, Guinness is sideways on the corkscrew.
Oh,
can he save it? No, he can't. He spins. He gets it going again, facing the right way.
Yeah, he made a few impacts into the sides of a few cars. I think that would be fine. I don't think anybody hit him head on.
He clipped someone very lightly, didn't he? It might have been a... I really don't know who he was, I'll be honest. Could have been Mangan, actually.
Oh, sideways. That was Blackall, and he's in the gravel. This is where Casey Stoner hit the deck in that famous battle with Rossi a long time ago now.
What happened there? Because it looked like he was sideways well before the braking area.
Oof, I'm not too sure. It might have been under braking, or it might have... I don't think he clipped the dirt or anything when he hit the brake pedals. So, yeah, not too sure what happened there at all. Here's
Craig Williams
on the comeback.
Yeah, Craig Williams looking for progress as well, past Nathan Davies. One of the leading AM drivers. Ricard Carlson is just ahead of them. You see in the blue car, just up the road, blue and yellow, the national colours of Sweden. Oh, Neidhart! Neidhart is off, and we're seeing a lot of incidents. You know, it's testing the drivers here, this track already, Adam.
Yeah, I know we seem to be saying a lot these days, but it's a track which has barely any tarmac runoff areas. You're either straight off into the wall or straight off into the dirt. Oh, and it was
speaking of the wall.
Yeah, and he does hit the concrete wall. Sutton was involved in that.
Yeah, Sutton's not had a great start to the race, I'll be honest, so far. He's up 3 places, but he's had a couple of offs and a bit of contact there. But Ash will keep plugging away as he normally does. Ross McFarlane's now up to 3rd, though the reigning champion has got quite a good start. And with Guinness, the demise of him means that now he can attack Ross Balfour, and let's see if he can. He's got good slipstream, decent overspeed there. Balfour defends the inside into the Andretti hairpin, and I tell you what, Adam, as you well know, if you defend the inside into there, it's very, very difficult to go around the outside, partly because of that dirt and the marbles that live on the edge.
Yeah. As someone's trying to forge their own path there. I mean, that was Simmons looking from the rear of Balfour kicking up the dirt. You're right about that hairpin, the Andretti hairpin. It's so difficult to get moved around the outside there. The track falls away on the outside as well, so you're fighting a losing battle. And after the first few laps, the tyres will be not in the best possible condition for you to do that either.
Look how close Ross McFarlane is. And honestly, if you guys join iRacing, if you want to get involved in the Audi RS3, runs in a couple of series on the main service, but for those who don't really have much experience, it's really hard for me to relate just the quality of driving, just the skill level that we're seeing out here, to race just inches away from each other with largely no contact, and to be able to do it at such great speed. And that's why these drivers are as good as they are. That's why they've got the 5, 6, 7,000 I rating. The worst I rating in the top 23 belongs to Jake Blackhall, belongs to Nathan Davis at nearly 3,200, which I can assure you, as I am definitely not 3,200 I rating, that is a great achievement in itself.
Oh, I'm about half that, I think. And I've got an A license, but George
Oh, yeah, I
Simmons.
suppose he doesn't, but so that's one thing, I guess.
I guess if you're racing in touring cars, a high license class is quite difficult to come by, especially if you're racing in the official series as well, where safety rating will probably be flying out the window.
That's true.
Here's Carl Jansen, who usually drives in GT cars, but he's taking his trade to the ARLTC for tonight, and he's trying to get by George Simmons, Apex Racing team, just in front of him.
Yeah, Carl Jansen's won a title on this channel before. Oh, look at that. Look at the stones and the rubbish kicked towards us. And again, that just, you know, the way iRacing models the track, that will be dispersed. It will bounce off of walls. It will come back onto the... What is going on here? What on earth is happening?
Oh, this is the final sector, isn't it? Now this is Sedgwick, Davis, Neidhart, Williams, Woodhouse, Gerstenberg, Hadfield and Rushworth. When somehow they managed to sort that all out, as I think one of the Neidharts has come into the pit lane.
Hadfield, as you can hear the damn pit siren going off, as Hadfield gets past Gerstenberg up into 24th position. There's Jamie Rushworth in the Freem car. He's lapping quite considerably faster than the drivers ahead of him, but he's hit that roadblock now. Norbert Leitner's up to 30th, Damien Harris up to 29th. They started quite near the back, actually. In fact, Harris didn't, did he? He started 22nd, so Harris has fallen back towards Leitner. Scott Malcolm's up 6 positions from where he started, but he's just lost one to Michael Evdocker. At least, he maybe hasn't, actually. No, he keeps it, but at the expense of Evdocker, who finds an appointment with the kitty litter in his future.
That was an interesting one there. Looked like Evdocker did, Malcolm's side did try to turn in, but the Pure Sims OVP car was on the outside, so not the most ideal outcome to that battle. No. Here is Darius Neidhart, Simon Field and Previn Valler all going through the kink, and here comes Previn Valler.
We've seen all 3 of these drivers in the top 10 at various points this season, as is Jamie Wilson as well in the white and green Chimera car, which shows the quality of the field. If this lot are down here, Valler has been, running well on merit in a few of the races. Simon Field, many times race winner. I think he has over half a dozen wins in this series in its various incarnations. And I think he's let Wilson through, so I wonder if he was just, okay then, you've nudged me out of the way, see what you can do. Luke Kidsley, 37th. Getting close again between Ross Balfour and Ross McFarlane in the all-Ross battle. My money's on Ross for this one. 1 and 2 from last season as well, though, Adam, and in all seriousness, 2 of the very best.
Yeah, it was a showdown of the Rosses as well, wasn't it? Last time out in the ARLTC, it was McFarlane that prevailed and took his first ARLTC championship. Ross Balfour is hoping to try and gain on him, because at the moment McFarlane's second in the standings, Balfour just a little bit further behind. With time running out after this race meeting today, we will have 9, 10, 11, 12, 5 rounds left to decide the title, which will conclude, I should say, get my tenses right, which will conclude in Sebring in Florida in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, in December, that one. And Sebring, what a great place to finish the season. That's going to be brilliant. Sunset Bend as the sun sets on the championship. I'll tell you what, though, the sun is rising on Kieran Harrison, Adam, it really is. He's a rookie, remember, in this series. He currently leads the opening round of the day by 3 seconds. Very impressive indeed.
In practice, he was 0.3 of a second ahead of the rest. In qualifying, he was just over a tenth ahead of Ross Balfour in second. And here, he is lapping around a tenth of a second quicker than everybody else. But it's been consistent. And he's used that little advantage to just keep edging away lap after lap. And here we are with just under 2/3 distance complete. And he is flying. He has got a 3.2 second cushion back to Balfour in second. He is absolutely loving it at the front here at Laguna Seca, as Janssen is going to be starting to grow a bit impatient of having stones pelted at his
just thrones just like flying at him left, right, and centre.
Yeah, stones.
Take a seat and have another one. Oh, here we go on the inside. On the inside for Janssen.
Oh, and it's through.
The old fat hamster that powers George Simmons' internet continues to just about hang on. So they go over the line then to start lap 10. Janssen is through, and a clean move there, and a good one into the last corner. Sometimes you don't always want to make that move into that corner because, hello.
Wow.
3 wide. 3 wide of a start-finish line. Hadfield and Gerstenberg on the inside, 4 wide now, and Woodhouse and Williams behind.
Yeah, I bet Woodhouse would have been holding his breath a bit there when the spotter said you're in the middle, 3 wide, especially going a blind left-hander as well.
That's it. Yeah, because I mean it is technically the pitch straight here at Laguna Seca, but it's not a straight. That is for sure. Oh. I mean, for a MotoGP bike, that's a legit corner. And that is a very, very fast corner as well on a MotoGP bike. For these touring cars, the front-wheel drive cars, they can take it flat, but still take some concentration as Williams is through and up into 24th position. Ash Sutton's up to 11th, and his next target is Wojciech Savidovic, but that's a couple of seconds behind the Polish driver, many-time champion. I've almost given up in remembering how many. I think it's 6. Up the inside.
Oh. And that is that's Williams versus Gerstenberg there, and it was also very close between Hadfield and the newcomers as well. As I think Turnbull's been dropping down the order, at least on the timing tower on the left-hand side. Here he is. He's in a battle with Simmons, so Janssen has finally got by Simmons now. You can see that just in the foreground. And a shot as Simmons gets sideways through the 90-degree right-hander. Whereabouts are Turnbull and Trendle? There they are, they're arriving on the scene. Is Turnbull going to get at the inside? He is, and he will get through, and he's up into 5th place as well. So Janssen up into 4th, and Simmons after all that down the order as he blinks in and out again.
Trendle is going to be crossing his fingers that he just suddenly doesn't appear on him. Simmons, as like I said, the hamster is struggling somewhat. Trendle's had a good season so far, though, Adam. He's shown his mettle against this excellent field, a world-class field.
Really, it's been a phenomenal season in terms of all the new teams and the new drivers coming in and settling in straight away and adding to the competition at the front. For so long we've had the same old names at the front, and Wojciech Savidovic, who has had to work even harder to try and get his title back. He, for the last couple of years, it's been all about him. Drivers like Alex Simpson and Jack Sedgwick have all tried to stop him, Dave Baker as well, and Jamie Rushworth, but it's always been the Polish driver on top of the standings until fairly recently, with Ross McFarlane taking the title away. And this season it really is all up for grabs as Turnbull tries to keep Simmons at bay as we start the penultimate lap.
We saw last week, didn't we, with Wodge, you know?
So good. Yeah.
Even if you try and get rid of him, or even if he's not in contention for the win, if you slip up, he will be there. And I mean, that's the same for most people, but Savidovic knows how to navigate the championship, as Simmons is struggling technically here, driving well, but the internet not really helping him out too much, as Matt Turnbull is in 5th position, starting 3rd though. So you'd really And he made a good start, didn't he, Adam? He got a really good run in behind Harrison. It was Balfour that got the initial jump, but then a terrible second phase. Turnbull was the other way around. So Simmons still struggling. Good battle, though, here in the lower reach of the top 10. And here is Adam Hadfield trying to have a go at Thomas Gerstenberg.
Just see how many cars have cut that inside curb on the inside of the corkscrew.
Oh yeah, I mean the lines, the trails of the tyre marks going down through there. It is extremely steep. I mean, it looks steep on the TV, but that will not do it justice. I've seen people try to walk up there. They can't. Is the point.
Well, to put it into context, I walked up from the Dunlop curve at Nürburgring to the Schumacher S, and that damn well near killed me there. I don't know what. Don't know.
But
what
again,
about...
people don't think it is steep. You know, people don't think there's much elevation on some of these tracks, and yeah, it's really exaggerated. Exaggerated.
There you go. I was watching Aragon at the weekend. They've got almost a reverse corkscrew there. At one point.
Oh, there's some good corners at Portimao like that, isn't there? As well, as we'll see this weekend, no doubt. But the first prominence of this particular race meeting is going to go to HM Engineering, Adam. And what a drive from Kieran Harrison.
What a fantastic job. What a fantastic start to the evening it's been for him. Fastest in practice, fastest in qualifying. Believe he has got the fastest lap. Might have to double check on that, but he won't be too worried about that. He's flashing the lights. He's lapping Kip Stevens, who doesn't want to do another lap. And Kieran Harrison wins the opening race of the day here at Laguna Seca with Balfour second and McFarlane in third.
Kip being the Orange Cassidy of the ARLTCR there. Ross Balfour P2. I think he'll be very happy with that. McFarlane on the podium. What does he get for that? He gets third place and he gets a lot of points. That's what he gets. Carlson coming over. What else have we got? Have we got any battles further down? Oh yeah, Fritsch and Leitner. They're still going. You can see them coming across the line there. Very close. Kidsley and Field. They're a bit further down. Here they are crossing the line. Kidsley in 40th. Field in 41st. 49 started and 45 finished, which is pretty good. Stevens was several laps down actually. Adam?
Oh, there you go. 46. What's the magic number for race 2 as well? I think it's in the 20s for this one.
I'm just going to have a little gander. And the result of the gander is... Bloody hell, I can't read it. 20... Well, this is annoying, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't see the second number.
It's too small.
It's 2 something. I don't think it's 2.
Who knows? Who knows what it is? I'm sorry, viewers. It's too small on my screen. It doesn't fit. 28.
Damien Harris. There we go. Yeah, it's
anyway.
Yeah. We've got 3 minutes to run you through the grid as we get set for race 2. And this is how it's going to be lining up then, with Damien Harris on the pole for race 2 after finishing in 28th place. Jamie Rushworth in second. Then it's a second row of Pro-Ams, Ben Gregory and Mark Woodhouse. Craig Williams in 5th, and then Adam Hadfield for Swift Cooper Esports in 6th. Thomas Gerstenberg going to be starting in 7th. Then Nathan Davis for Hesketh Racing in 8th. Ricard Carlson and Jack Sedgwick completing the top 10. JV Masida in 11th, Jake Blackhall for Australia in 12th, Jason Stepney, then Alex Simpson, Dave Baker, the championship leader going into this race meeting, in 15th place on the grid. Then it's Vlad Kimichev, will he get a better jump away from the line? Then it's Facundo Britos in 17th place, 18th for Ash Sutton, 19th for Wojciech Savidovic, and 20th for Corentin Guinness. Oscar Mangan in 21st, and Simon Trendle, George Simmons, who we saw running wide late on and losing a few places, a handful, in 23rd. And Matt Turnbull in 24th. Carl Janssen 25th place. There's Ross McFarlane, the reigning champion. He's going to be starting in 26th place for race 2, with Ross Balfour straight behind him in 27th place. Kieran Harrison, the race 1 winner, starting in 28th. Marcel Fritsch, 29th. And Norbert Leitner in 30th. Fraser Smith, 31st teammate. Then Michael Evdoka starting in 32nd. Jason Cooper, Pete Newman, Scott Malcolm and Preben Valler on the 13th row of the grid. 13th row of the grid. No, I've got that completely wrong. Toby Ward,
18th row of the grid.
There you go. Cheers.
It's alright, there aren't normally that many rows on any grid, mate. You're alright.
Let's try to half it. And completely got the wrong number. Jamie Wilson in 39th and 40th, Luke Kidsley. Then it's Simon Fields, Marius Breuer, Sean Gardner, Baron Glover, and then John Roberts, Kip Stevens, Lee Berridge, Dennis Neidhart, and Mark Johnston's going to be starting at the back of the grid for this one. He's going to be starting in 49th place as we've got 30 seconds to go before lights out.
Yes, as we realised that Adam's consumed far too much energy drink, and now he's lost the ability to do maths. Damian Harris is on the pole position. Oh, God, it's catching. Pole position, there we go. Ahead of Jamie Rushworth, Ben Gregory in 3rd, Mark Woodhouse in 4th, as they're all flashing the lights egregiously on the grid. It's not a rave, boys, although some people might think it is. And of course it's Craig Williams and Ben Gregory, Adam. Come on. Right, here we go. 5 red lights are coming on. What can Damian Harris do? We know he's a very fast driver. Can he get the job done here at Laguna Seca while the lights are off and the race is on? Harris gets a brilliant start. He flies away from the line. And Rushworth gets swamped by Gregory and Woodhouse. They're already giving him grief into the first corner. Williams has stuck the headlight button on again, it looks like, because he's trying to get up the inside into the Andretti hairpin. He might actually get Jamie Rushworth here, Adam, as he's trying to go. Oh, somebody's been turned. Gerstenberg, he's into the wall. Can he recover? Not before he hits 2 Hesketh racing cars, I think, Adam. Oh, no, here we go.
Oh, no. JB Messina, Dave Baker, championship leader, in big trouble there. That's the Pure Sims car you can see.
Sutton.
Sutton as well.
Oh, yeah, it's Baker with the blue mirrors down to 45th place. Side by side, Cedric and Woodhouse. Woodhouse not backing down, but Cedric forces him onto the grass.
Up the hill then we go for the first time.
Oh,
sorry. That's one of the Cooper's cars, yeah.
Very slow it down. Oh, he can. Very nice.
Just about Rushworth right behind him. There's a good start for a handful of cars. Matt Turnbull, Bake
Gregory.
Oh, no, oh yeah.
Oh, what the heck is going on here? 2x2 down the hill. And oh, that's a bit of argy-bargy going out on the track there. And Harrison, can Harrison slow it down before he hits the Apex car? Wojciech Savinovic there in the middle of that 3-wide situation.
Can't pick a camera and it's all sorts of chaos. There's the 98 car just in front. It's Facandu Britosh in the Argentinian.
I think Gerstenberg's out, Adam, after that contact.
Oh yeah, straight back to the pits. Those concrete walls are very unforgiving. Here he is, Britosh. Now, can he make them pay? He's trying to get by Mangan. Oh, the IRS Racing Team car holds position in P24.
Yeah. He's done a self-assessment and realises he's in 24th place. Now,
a nice rebate in race 3 with the reverse grid.
Oh, very good. Oh, no! Oh, where's he gone? Jason Cooper, that might have saved everyone. That blink of Cooper might have just saved Ross Balfour there, I think. Oh, Wojciech Savinovic is off. He's back on, but he's going to lose at least 2 places, maybe 3. Oh my goodness me, what's gone on there? It's Simmons.
And he's wraps it around the tyre barrier at the top of the corkscrew. If that was the newer damage model, the car would be ripped to pieces. But we have reversed back. And well, he was off to start with. He was almost doing what Wojciech did. Then
he's got has he got damage? Good damage.
All over the place and then. Whoa!
Oh, and he floors it to miss. Yeah, he did well there actually. He realised he may have hit someone, so floored it to try and get through the gap. And this is a replay of Sedgwick going up the inside of Gregory and taking P3 away from the former AM champion. And there's Simmons' car, absolutely destroyed. He's still going, but I think, pretty sure he's going to get a black and orange flag, so it's probably going to be the end of him for this one. McFarlane's off. Oh yeah, McFarlane is off in the gravel. He's got major damage as well. A lot of damage to that Pure Sims car.
The championship contenders in race 3 have had it not their own way at all. We saw Savidovic off in the dirt. We saw Dave Baker collected in a crash at the start, and now here's what's happened to Ross McFarlane. Oh, well.
Oh, that's where the damage occurred.
Wheel-to-wheel combat between him and Jack Sedgwick, and then Rushworth the guy taps going into the corkscrew. McFarlane's had to tow back to the pits, so he's at least going to be starting at the rear of the field for race 3.
DNFs are a killer in this sort of format as well. Seen that many times before, all the way back to 2015, really, when DNFs were probably were almost the deciding factor against Sebastian Job when he won the title. McFarlane then out, that's confirmation. Kimichev we're looking at here now, Vladimir Kimichev in 11th place.
He's up 5 places from where he started here in race 2. Got the hang of the front wheel drive, getting that off the line.
Oh, he flings it into the Andretti hairpin. Car very on the nose for him. Oh, he bashes into black hole there. And Alex Simpson might take advantage here, Adam, up the inside.
And through. And that is the former iRacing Grand Prix Series driver up into 11th place.
Yeah, I could see Alex making a very good start. 3 places gained. Matt Turnbull's up 10 places. Kieran Harrison's up 13 places. That's great starts. Cooper up 14 as well, despite going on.
It's remarkable. I thought a couple of years ago we wouldn't have dreamed of seeing Alex Simpson in these cars, and now he's probably...
I don't think he would have.
He's got so much more experience than us. Way back when.
Oh, I think Davies has cut the course, and then he's hit the Chimera car, Trendell. I think Davies will get a slow down penalty for that, Adam, because he, yeah, definitely is. He cut the course on the inside of the corkscrew, and that put him wide, although Balfour's made a mess of that second to last corner. But into the pits comes Davies. What could that be?
Maybe too many incidents, I guess. It is very easy to pick up an off-track around here, that plus a little bit of contacts with a number of cars, and we'll get to that incident limit, which is 15, very quickly. Fastest
lap for Adam Hadfield, Swiss Cooper Esports then, 1:30.85, quick time. That is a quick time, not less than a second off the qualifying time. Williams has got it down to less than a second to Harris. Oh, it's Hadfield's off.
I was just about to say he was the quickest guy in the field on that last lap, and now he's down to 6th place.
Yeah, and he's got dirt on his tyres. You can see that his car is still depositing gravel onto the circuit. Not so much anymore, but carries on. And oh, look at that behind. That's Jason Staney and Ben Gregory. Into the corkscrew.
Oh, sideways.
You've got to really be careful you don't cut the course on the inside there, because like we say, could be a slowdown. Oh, side by side, Woodhouse now coming under pressure from Hadfield.
Yeah, Woodhouse was all out of shape at the top of the hill, corkscrew, and that's what's allowed Rushworth and now Hadfield to get by. Oh, and was that a little tap? Stephanie, yeah, and off goes Hadfield, and he's going to lose a lot of places here, because here comes that's Gregory, Carlson as well, and also Jason Stephanie as well.
Yeah, Stephanie has gone through. Gregory's trying to be late on the brakes to try and stave off Hadfield, But Adam goes round the outside. Oh, and that's a bit of contact between Kimichev and Blackhall. Yinez has gone through as well. I do like the fact that they very helpfully put the national flag on the end plate of the rear wing so that we can see who's who in that team. Oh, Gregory off again. More places lost. It's unravelling a bit here for 2015 AM champion. Blackhall and Turnbull now going into confrontation.
On the hill we go then, approaching half race distance. Balfour up 12 places already. Can he try and make that another?
Oh, bang!
And he's able to carry on, both able to carry on after that, as Gregory was able to turn in and correct the slide. They did lose a bit of ground to Jake Blackwell there.
Yeah, and Harrison's just behind. Harrison's very close indeed. Look at that. He's right on Balfour. Balfour needs to defend here. Into the final corner. Harrison gets a decent exit, but I don't think it's going to quite be enough to set up a move into the Andretti hairpin. But this train of cars, Adam, it goes from Jason Staney in 5th position all the way down to Wojciech Savidovic in 19th.
These guys are so good on the brakes as well. Riding on board there with Harrison going into the Andretti hairpin, and he's almost in top gear, and you think surely he's not going to be able to make the corner, and then on the brakes they go, and he's able to turn in and make the apex. Here is the course in racing car then, Balfour looking this way, and that Harrison opportunistic on the inside, and he should do it. Balfour's going to come back alongside though, but the corner is in Harrison's favour surely, but he backs out of it.
Yeah, it's potentially wise to do that at the top of the fast left-hander leading onto the Rayhouse straight. Oh, Kimichev flying up the inside. What a move that is!
Oh. Gimme from Kimi, and yeah, he's up into 10th, 6 places gain now.
And looking this way, and that is Turnbull. Try and get around Mark Woodhouse. Team Mad car. Used to be quite a few Team Mad cars in the championship. Only 2 left now with Malcolm and Woodhouse, which is a shame. Hopefully they can get back some kind of numbers next time. And Balfour again on the attack. Also on the attack is Mangan. He's up the inside of Trendell. Corvus is Chimera. Savidovic in 19th. Oh, Williams is down to 2/10 to Harris.
It was a very good lap by Williams on that last lap, a 31.1, almost a new personal best in the race from him. It was 10th of a second quicker than Damien Harris. Just wonder his tyres are starting to struggle as the race goes into the final third.
Got a better line through the left-hander did Williams. It looks like he's just able to take slightly tighter lines than Harris. He's having a think up the inside there. You won't get a move done there, but you might unsettle the car in front. And if we just follow him through this beautifully cambered right-hander. Oh, he just got a bit wide, but he's made it up on the brakes. 4/10 of a second though is too much for a move into the Andretti hairpin. So he might have another few corners at least of misery here. I say misery, he's still in 2nd place, but I think his feeling is going to be Jack Cedric's only 3 seconds behind. There are 5 laps to go, and it's possible that Cedric could catch them if they start fighting. Williams flashing the lights yet again. Pretty sure it's just stuck on, isn't it? Oh! And stuck and off is Blackhall. They're side by side in the hairpin. Here's the replay, and It's Gregory who gets into black hole. And off into the gravel he goes, Adam, and that's not a happy time for him. Mangan and Trendell are going at it up the hill. Mangan gets a good run. Carried that speed nicely through the left-hander. Oh, Swift Cooper Esports car in the gravel, and that is, I think, Jason Cooper. Off into the gravel. Savinovic now looking at centre screen. It was Jason Cooper. And unfortunately, I think his day is done. Well, his race is done. There'll still be another race for him. Of course, race 3. Yeah, that was a bit dicey, wasn't it, for Oscar Mangan?
And all of these, I'm guessing these will all be counting as off tracks. These little 2 wheels into the sand on the exit. So can't really do too many of them because otherwise you will get a drive-through penalty as a result. They're not too worried about that though. Here comes Trendell round the outside into the Andretti hairpin. It's very difficult to get moved on here. Any optionism up the inside there from Mangan? No, not this time. And a little nudge on the exit there from Trendell into the back of Gregory, who's doing a fantastic job in 15th. I think he is the 3rd highest Pro-Am driver here in the field. After Woodhouse and Rickard Carlson, who is leading the way for the Pro-Ams in 8th place. There is Gregory driving for Free Spires Motorsport, and he's currently set to be one of the top 3 in the Pro-Am category.
Yeah, and he's had a good season, but he doesn't want to have these races where he tumbles down the order. Rushworth and Hadfield then. Hadfield through into 5th position. Hadfield started 6th. Rushworth started 2nd.
Jamie couldn't have been more on the inside going into the corkscrew if he tried that. Plenty of space given by the Freem UK car. Alex Simpson now arriving onto the scene as here goes Corentin Guinness up the inside into the final corner, trying to battle his way past Rickard Carlson, and a change for the lead as Williams up the inside. The lights continue to flash, and they are flashing to an empty track in front of him because he has taken the lead with 3 laps to go.
Yeah, it's not as if it isn't bright sunshine in the Californian hills. You're in Monterey. I've been to California, and this is a very, very different landscape to Southern California. But here is the move. Williams. Oh yeah, he didn't quite defend the inside, Harris, but there was a car's width for Williams, and he took it beautifully.
And I've been in Harris's position before, where you look at the relative and think that'll be fine, and then you just see in the mirrors the car shoot up the inside, and you know it's too late. But let's see if he can fight back and get the lead in the closing stages.
I mean, he's still got a few laps to do it. 3 laps. Damien Harris is very fast, so maybe he can. I mean, if he can stay with Williams in this final sector, where, you know, let's be honest, he was a bit better than Williams in the last sector, in the couple of laps that we watched earlier. If he can use the slipstream and stay close enough, he might be able to mount a challenge later on. Jack Sedgwick lurks in the background. 1.8 seconds may be too much for him to close up to 2nd place. In the previous lap, he was 1/10 quicker than the leader, that's all. John Roberts and Dennis Neidhart off. I wonder if that's related. Down in the 40s. Yeah, Sedgwick has had a good race, hasn't he? Started 10th.
Yeah, he has, and he's managed to gain quite a few places to get up there. 7, in fact. There's Adam Hadfield in 5th, who was the quickest driver on the track at one point before a few off tracks made sure that he lost pace with the guys at the front. Reverse grid territory, it is 36, which is the magic number for race 3, and as it stands, that would put Fraser Smith on pole position. There he is in P36 at the moment, with Malcolm and Gardner just in front. Those are the guys that will be starting race 3 from the front if it stays the way it is.
Now, what HM Engineering need is they need both their cars to pass Scott Malcolm. because Leitner is in 37th, and at this point will not be getting a reverse grid spot. But if both of them can force their way through, then they'll get 2 cars on the front row of the grid, which will be a potentially unassailable position for HM Engineering. They need Smith to go through. Malcolm, obviously, he's going to start on the front row as it is. But he doesn't want to lose it. Because there's a huge difference, obviously, Captain Obvious over here, between first or second and 37th on the grid, Adam. It's not pretty, is it?
It doesn't bear thinking about, really, does it?
No.
And it can make or break
binoculars out to see the
Oh.
Oh no, it's Davidovich!
Former champion colliding with Jamie Wilson, the Team Chimera car, and he's going to be in a lot of trouble here. If it's any consolation, he will be starting a bit further forward in race 3, but the points have gone, and that's the most important thing when you're fighting for a championship. And Davidovich gets going again down in 28th.
Just behind Sutton, who's down in 27th. But it's 4 tenths at the front between Williams and Harris. Harris has stuck with him. Can he get an opportunity in the last few corners as the lights continue to flash on the front of Williams's car? Can't be helping the battery life, can it? But here's Harris then, trying maybe with all his might to get close. He can get close, but he can't usurp Craig Williams. And Craig Williams comes out of the final corner. He puts the foot down. He crosses the line. He takes the checkered flag. Round 2 of the day goes to the Craig Setup Shop man.
And Alex Simpson is going to get by Adam Hadfield on the run to the line. There you go. That's the Apex Racing car finishing just ahead of the Swift Cooper Esports car. Corentin Guinness in 8th place in the end, and fastest lap on that last lap. It goes to Kieran Harrison, the race 1 winner. 15 places gained, and he finishes in 13th in the end with the fastest lap to boot at the end as somebody gets whacked into there down at the Andretti hairpin. Here's the fight for the reverse grid then, and it's Norbert Leitner who's in 36th place. And what's happened to Scott Malcolm and the rest of them? Scott Malcolm's down in 43rd, at least on my timing screen. So something has definitely changed in the last few corners of that lap, and it's going to be Leitner, and it's going to be on the pole for race 3 for HM Engineering.
Well, Malcolm's missing, and so is Smith. I think we're about to find out why.
And here it is. Yeah, this is the kink. Oh, well, I've lost it. You might need to explain this one.
Oh, so yeah, Smith got the back quarter panel of Malcolm, sent him across, and then spun into Smith, and then so both of them ended up in a bit of a heap, and yeah, unfortunately for them, that took them both out of contention. Fortunately for Norbert Leitner, he'll be very, very happy indeed, I'm sure.
Got to be in it to win it, and he's just won the reverse grid pole. We've got a 10-minute warm-up session just getting underway now before we get things back on the road for race 3, and it's Craig Williams that wins race 2. Damien Harris just 7 tenths of a second behind. Jack Sedgwick car 3 in P3. Jason Sterney 4th. Jamie Rushworth 5th. Alex Simpson with that late race overtake to get into 6th. Adam Hadfield 7th. Then Corentin Guinness. Rickard Carlson, the highest Pro-Am driver, in 9th. Matt Turnbull completing the top 10. Vlad Kimichev in 11th. Solid start to his ARLTC career. Ross Balfour in 12th. Then 13th for Kieran Harrison with that late fastest lap. 14th for Mark Woodhouse. Then Oscar Mangan, Carl Janssen, 2 teammates there. Ben Gregory, Preben Valler, then Facundo Britosh, and then Dennis Neidhart completing the top 20. 2 Team Chimera teammates, Simon Trendle and Jamie Wilson. Wilson losing a few places late on after the contact with Davidovich. Marcel Fritsch in 23rd, then Jake Blackhall, Toby Ward, Dave Baker down in 26th. His teammate Ash Sutton right behind him, and then there is Wojciech in 28th place. Darius Neidhart, 29th, then Nathan Davis, Mark Johnston, Jason Cooper, and his teammate Kip Stevens. Tell you what, we are seeing things in 2s here today. Then Sean Gardner, JB Masida, Norbert Leitner getting the crucial reverse grid pole. Luke Kidsley just missing out in this occasion. Marius Breuer in 38th, Baron Glover there in 39th. Two more teammates together, John Roberts and Simon Field, 40th and 41st. Then it's Scott Malcolm and Fraser Smith. They could have been on reverse grid pole, but it turned ugly there late on. Then George Simmons, 44th, with something being wrong with the car. We saw him flying into the corkscrew, I should say. His steering calibration resets. And I've had that happen before, and it is awful. And yeah, he had to bail really. Lee Berridge 4 laps down. Newman out very early on. Ross McFarlane as well into the concrete wall early on. Michael Evdoka too, and Thomas Gerstenberg just where that Firestone bridge is. That was where his fate was met for his retirement in race 2. So another eventful one here at Laguna Seca, and we have got a couple of minutes I should say, to go before we get back running again for the third and final race of the day.
Yeah, and we're going to go and have a little advert break in that time. So we'll be back in about 5 minutes time here on the iRacing Esports Network, and we continue with the Apex Racing League Touring Car Championship.
And we're back at Laguna Seca for the final race of the day, which is set to get underway in a couple of moments' time. We've got the final 30 seconds of the pre-race warm-up. So far today, Kieran Harrison won race 1, and then in race 2, after a charge through the field and a late race overtake, it was not Damien Harris that won, or was it Damien Harris that won? It's remarkable, I can't remember what happened at the end of race 2. It was Craig Williams that dethroned Damien Harris to win race 2 by 0.7 of a second. And now for race 3, we have a 36-car reverse grid, which means that it will be Norbert Leitner of Hungary that will be on the pole position for the third and final race of the day. And Andrew Woodhouse, that looks set to make things pretty exciting, with overtaking so far tonight proving to be quite a little bit difficult.
Yeah, and I mean, we saw in the last race though that it can be done. As we see the grid there, Norbert Leitner on pole, JB Maceda in second, then Sean Gardner, Kip Stevens, Jason Cooper, Mark Johnson, Nathan Davis, Darius Neidhart, Wojciech Svidovic in 9th, Ash Sutton in 10th, Dave Baker 11th, and Toby Ward in 12th. Jake Blackwell is 13th, ahead of Marcel Fridge, Jamie Wilson in 15th, Simon Trendell in 16th, and 17th for Dennis Neidhart, and Facundo Britos in 18th, Preben Vala 19th, and 20th is Ben Gregory. You can see all the rest of the grid going through on the screen there. And the race 2 winner, Craig Williams, will line up in 36th place. Quite a long way back. And there's some drivers, Adam, starting behind the final corner.
Yeah, ARLTC as ever, having plenty of grids. There comes...
Sorry about that, yeah.
I had a mouthful of birthday cake. Here we go. Norbert Leitner starting from the pits.
Here we go, Maceda then on pole position, well, second position on the grid, and Gardner taking advantage of the clean side and getting going there, getting into the lead over Maceda. Stevens in 3rd, he knows how to manage the race. Up the inside for Cooper. Cooper's done well there. Swift Cooper Esports 3rd, and I was going to say 4th, but Kip Stevens has not had a great couple of corners, and they've flown past him there. Davis, Sutton, Johnston, and Svidovic all through. Stevens down to 8th then. 9th now at the hands of David Baker. They're fanning out quite substantially behind. Someone's on the grass. I think it might be Turnbull. Oh, that's Ward getting into it with Carl Janssen.
And Maceda has he taken the lead? Has he? Berridge has had to tow back to the pits. And here's Jamie Rushworth down the order. He's in 33rd place, trying to get some places back straight away up the inside into the corkscrew.
Oh, you can see him sawing away at the wheel as he's desperately trying to get it slowed down and also balance it enough to try and get through the corner. Oh, smoke! Gravel, Alex Simpson in a bit of strife early on here. Won't be happy with that. Oh, what's that? Contact. There's Jack Sedgwick. These two were teammates last season. Not anymore. So let's see if the gloves will be well and truly off now.
They're slapping the books then. Oh, are they going to try and split the fiercely forward car?
Oh, look at that! Oh, look at that on the brakes from Alex. Round the outside of Sedgwick, and that is very good indeed.
Nice call from the 99 car there.
Ah,
on the inside.
It was a bit of a flaky lap, but he delivered that time.
Free wide. Oh no, the Freem UK car gets hung out to dry there. Rushworth has to pay there because Simpson up the inside. Problem there for one of the Hell Racers cars. That's the Pro-Am Championship contender, Rickard Carlson, getting overtaken by the driver who sits second in the Pro Championship.
Getting a challenge for the lead, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but Cooper is 1/10 behind Maceda
Here we are. Yeah.
And well, this is going to be the battle. Sutton is third. Cooper will know that he'll have to get on with this if he wants to stay ahead of Ash Sutton. As Sean Gardner is off.
Oh.
He's going to lose a place.
Oh, and someone's backwards in the final corner as well. It's I think it's one of the Hesketh Racing cars.
Davies.
Yeah. There he is, RD, the Welshman. Facing the wrong way. Someone's coming out of the pits as well.
That's the best time to do that, isn't it? Entire field coming through. Good luck with that.
Oh, contact, more contact to the back. That's
Valor.
one of the core cars. And yeah, Valor, is it?
Valor and Oscar Mangan, is that?
Yeah,
oh, Simpson off.
Oh, double 99's off.
Oh, no, that's Fraser Smith. Oh, bang! Into the wall goes Jason Staney.
Well, race 2 ended badly for Fraser Smith, and as a result of starting at the very back, things haven't helped. Things haven't got much better really, and that's just compounded how quickly his fortunes have changed. Here's the fight for 8th, 9th, 10th for Kip Stevens, trying to keep the Team Chimera car at bay, but straight up the inside of the corkscrew goes Simon Trendle, and here comes Wojciech Savidovic as well. Woj and Kipper, well known, know each other pretty well.
Yeah, the two-time champion struggling out there, it looks like today. Oh, and Britos leaning on him slightly. Stevens will defend here. It's fair to say about that Kip probably hasn't gone on quite as well with the Audi as he did with the Kia, I think. But he still had some good performances in it. This one may struggle to be one of those. Oh, Manga, and that's Janssen diving up the inside of the Argentine. In the Andretti hairpins, there's contact behind with Woodhouse and Wilson, I think. Woodhouse trying to go up the inside of Harrison. I think he's going to probably make that one work. Yeah, he does indeed. Woodhouse up to 14th. Well, say that. I thought he was clear for a moment. Maybe not. Wilson having a look, maybe just moving out so he can see. Harrison takes back the place with the lunge. I said lunge. He was let on the brakes. It was a nice move. Look at this sea of Audis. It's Kimichev. Oh, this is good run by Kimichev. Gonna try and get one in on Woodhouse into the corkscrew. Oh, he's off.
This is no grip out there, and nearly collects Jamie Wilson. Wilson up the inside.
There was even less grip where he went, wasn't there?
Oh, up the inside there, it's horrific. You almost end up going straight on, it's that bad.
Oh, Wilson just clipped the quarter panel of Kimichev, sent him very wide. He's lost out to Turnbull. May lose out to Guinness and to Neidhart, possibly. Oh, late effort by Turnbull. Can't quite get that one done though this time. Oh, Wilson up the inside that time.
Trying to prise the door open there. The Chimera car looks to have done it, but around the outside there, with 2 races of dirt and whatever and muck out there, it's horrific. He's trying his best. Up the inside goes Guinness. He was very good in qualifying for race 1, and these 2 are still at it.
Yeah, and Frenchman round the outside. Sebon on that one. Up to 18th place. Oh no! Gardner.
Ah, the pole sit. Well, he got off to such a good start, and now things have really taken a turn for the worse. Now this is where Lorenzo had his massive accident all those years ago. Through the left-hander. Oh, went out wide, and then is that the end of the day for him?
Comes back on.
Well, there he does.
No, it's not going to work, is it? It's not going to work from there, Sean. I'm afraid. Yeah. Somebody else was off at the corkscrew then. I don't know if you saw that, but on the replay, as the replay transitioned, but I think it was Jason Staining. So he was off for 5 seconds.
Up to second place is this guy, Ash Sutton. He was a couple of attempts quicker than Jason Cooper on that previous lap, and he's just overtaken JB Masida and is up into P2 with just over half the race still to go. Fastest lap on the last lap was, I think, by, well, it was by Dave Baker. I think it's now by Ross McFarlane with a 30.6.
Yeah, Matt Turnbull's on the move as well. Fastest final sector of anybody. I'll tell you what, Masida with a 4,000 rating though. Very competent indeed. Actually higher than Ash Sutton. Although Sutton's probably got an excuse for that. As he's obviously has a lot of other commitments. But yeah, Masida very accomplished. You can see he's not letting Sutton go without a fight. Now then, this is Kieran Harrison side by side with Wojciech Swidovic, Adam, over the start-finish line.
Close fight here. Let's see if who comes out on top. HM Engineering, who have been so good tonight. Harrison, who has been so good tonight, trying to get by Wojciech Swidovic, which has had an up and down evening with contacts in race 2, ruining a solid finish. It did put him in a decent starting spot for race 3. Here is Wodge, who's lost a place since the start and is inside. And that's going to be straight up the inside for Harrison. And he should have the position, and he does. And forces Wojciech to yield. Will the former champion come back at him, though? You can never rule out Wojciech Swidovic in these situations. He's going to try and go around the outside. Is he going to try and do the old cut back up the inside? And there's life in the tyres, and you know what? He might just do it. Oh, and the door was very firmly slammed shut by Harrison there.
Yeah, he did well there, Kieran Harrison, to make the move first of all to keep the place. Swidovic is looking like he wants to get that back as quickly as possible. Or someone having a look at the inside. That is Stevens on Kimichev. Kimichev gets past, flashing the lights vigorously is Turnbull. Just behind him is Guinness, and then Britos, and then Neidhart. Oh, there we go, 3 wide into the final corner. Let's see.
Oh, it's just about working out. It's all kicking off in the background as well as Hadfield and fiercely forward cars are all at it. But look at this, over the top of the hill, 333. That's Guinness. He's trying to get up the inside. Watch out for Britos as well.
Oh, very late on the brakes for Kim. Oh, he got a little tap though.
Oh.
Sends him wide, sends him into Turnbull. Turnbull bashes off one of the Chimeras.
Stevens.
That was Wilson, sorry.
Stevens trying to get back into some sort of position. He has now. He's down in 20th. There's Gregory up the inside. Oh, and forces his way past Harris, who now he loses 2 more places as a result. What an awful corner that was there for the fiercely forward car. He went fiercely backwards on that occasion.
You see Simmons flying through the middle and then getting a tap on the way through and having to correct. He just about managed to keep it pointing in the right direction. Sedgwick is trying to also go in the right direction. He's up 11 places from where he started. Simmons up 22. He started 44th, Adam. Still only halfway through the field. Oh, here we go. Big lock up. Oh, no.
And that was Britos pretty much getting pushed through the corkscrew, and Jamie Wilson looks like he's come out the worst out of everybody there.
Yeah, you could see.
Off! And that's the end for Kip Stevens. Out of the shot and into the tyre barrier. And that, after a good start to race 3, things have very quickly taken a turn for the worse for the former champion.
Yeah, fastest lap by Kieran Harrison. It was Carl Janssen, and then Harrison came along a few seconds later and took that away from him. Harris versus Simmons then. Alex Simpson is still going, 41st for him though.
Santos in the pits as well. Late on. Baker versus Masida. This is for a spot on the podium. The Frenchman has been able to keep the former champion and the championship leader going into this race meeting at Bay for 9 laps. But it looks like he might be forced to yield here as Baker tries to go around the outside. He's got the racing line now up the top of the hill. He should just be about clear when we get on the brakes into the corkscrew. Indeed he is. Masida tries to throw it up the inside, but Dave Baker has got the move done and is now up into 3rd. So it's Pure Sims Esports P2 and P3 with a quarter of the race still to go.
Yeah, Baker doing very, very well indeed to get through. On course for a little bit of the bubbly. Of course, in 3rd. The man who likes to finish 6th, well, he's done a good job here to finish 3rd, yes. Masida in 4th, Blackhall in 5th, and Carl Janssen is 6th and going quickly. Let's see then what the laps are like this time round. See if anybody can better the fastest lap of Harrison, 1:30.2. I think maybe they've had the best of the car then after 10 laps, because nobody really setting personal bests. Only Dennis Neidhart down in 15th has improved on his best lap of the race. F1 goes to Portugal tomorrow, and I am excited. I will say that. I just have to say that on the broadcast, because yeah, what a special race that's going to be, I think. And up the inside goes Ross Balfour. This has been a very special race too, here at Laguna Seca. Round 3 of the day.
Oh, so close there. Harrison then. Oh, great exit.
Oh, yeah.
He can't really do much with it though, can he?
No, but he might get alongside Trendell, but it depends how late on the brakes Balfour is and how much space can be afforded to him as Savidovic throws it into the corkscrew to try and get any advantage as the stones again crash against his windscreen. Rat-a-tat-tat like some kind of metronome.
Inside goes Harrison. So close to hitting the King America. Great racing between the pair. As we come across the line, a spot in the top 10 is up for grabs, and at the moment Harrison has it with 3 laps to go, including the one that we're on here.
Yeah, super close, wasn't it? And Harrison has to slot back into 10th. Janssen's got ahead of Blackhall, then he takes P5 away, at least momentarily. Blackhall on the inside, man from Australia versus the man from Sweden. Good exit, Janssen. He's very close indeed to getting back through. Oh, he's going for it. Oh, he's through.
Fair play.
Lovely.
That's a great move by Carl Janssen late on in the race, where maybe the tyres will be starting to go off. I say that everybody's continuing to do decent laps. But
maybe it's dirty on the inside there, and the potential for the car to just slide on, maybe collect his rival, was quite high. Something's happened to Sedgwick, I think. He's lost a couple of places. Simmons and Gerstenberg has got past Harris. Harris is wide. Harris bounced across the inside of the corkscrew. Here comes Sedgwick. Oh, contact.
It's fine up the inside though. Will Harris go and try and fight back? Sedgwick's got the corner though, and through and into 22nd he goes.
Harris is probably going to have a look into the final corner, I think, if he... Oh, no, he does not. Sedgwick left the door open. Williams, Neidhart. That group behind was having a look anyway into the last corner. I saw that. Jason Cooper continues to lead. The gap is 1.1 seconds. You can see the battle for yourselves here, ladies and gentlemen. 2 laps to go, Adam. This could be a grandstand finish.
1.1 seconds is the gap. Sutton hasn't really eaten into it too much. Last time around it was identical lap time, so if Cooper can continue at the rate he's going, he might just be able to keep the former BTCC champion at bay. But when you see Sutton on your relative and Even 1.1 seconds, that still can get into your head. Let's see if Cooper can hold on.
It's tough, man. I mean, you know, we've both raced against him, and it is hard to keep him behind. And just as hard to stop him closing the gap, even before he gets to an overtaking situation. But Jason Cooper is very, very quick indeed. He's won races in the series before. He knows how to do it. But Sutton is just starting to get into that range now, Adam, where the slipstream is coming into effect. And it's just giving him that little bit more advantage, just to close in gently and maybe 1/10 every couple of corners with that. It's a battle for 7th.
Mark Johnston, who will be very happy if he can hold on to this. He's only lost 1 spot since the lights went out 12 laps ago. And he's keeping Ross Balfour at bay here, who was so close to getting the title last year. And some points are potentially up for grabs in the closing stages if he can just get by the Hesketh Racing Car.
That's going to be interesting.
And he goes up the inside.
Oh, carbon copy of the move of Janssen. His teammate. Good work there by Ross Balfour. And the leaders are into the corkscrew for the last time. Gone past it, in fact. Cooper. Jason Cooper's going to take the win here, I'm sure. Sutton hasn't made any inroads on him. Maybe 1/10 of a second, but that's it. All Jason Cooper has to do now is negotiate the final corner. He's going to take, I believe, might be his first win of the season. He comes across then. He weaves in celebration. He flashes the lights. And it's Jason Cooper who wins the 3rd race of the day here at Laguna Seca. 2nd place for Ash Sutton. And Baker gets the bubbly in 3rd. Janssen, Masida, Blackhall. Pretty close together. Just 3/10 between the 3 of them.
Kimichev with the PB over the line there. Janssen just getting Masida in the final corner to get 4th place. Here comes Damien Harris, fiercely forward, gets P23 for 23rd place in the end, just behind Jack Sedgwick. And off is Scott Malcolm. Well, he was off on the final lap in race 2, and a
John Roberts with the blown engine.
Should get it home.
Can he make that to the line ahead of the Team Mad car?
Won't be smelling pretty there.
Oh, he hasn't got a lot of power, Roberts. It's going to be close.
There we go.
Oh, he just gets there. Behind Jason Staney and Alex Simpson, who we saw crashed both of them off into the wall earlier. That's pretty much everybody finished. That was such a close race, Adam, that everybody finished in very quick time.
And there was so much there was so many different storylines going on throughout the whole field in that one. There was the battle up front, which this guy eventually prevailed to win. Jason Cooper, as he comes into the pits. We had the fast guys coming through the field as usual, the likes of Kieran Harrison, who finished 11th in the end, and the like. So he gets the handbrake on there. Jason Cooper coming down the pit lane. And the guys at the rear of the field putting on a very decent show as well. So this was a really, really good race meeting here at Laguna Seca. First time we've been here in a while, of course. And do we stay in North America? No, we don't. We head to Europe. We head to Barcelona next time out. So that should be pretty good as well. I mean, we haven't been there for quite a while. As here are the finishing results on the screen, and it's a race victory for Jason Cooper for Swift Cooper Esports. I think you might be right. I think that might be one of his first wins of the season. Sutton in 2nd place, couldn't get there in the end. A decent drive though in the end, considering he had his work cut out in some of those earlier races. Dave Baker in 3rd, Carl Janssen 4th, JB Masida just missing out on a spot in the top 4, but a top 5 nonetheless for the Frenchman. Jake Blackhall, the Aussie, in 6th place. 7th for Ross Balfour, then Mark Johnston, the highest of the Pro-Am drivers. Very, very happy. Very, very happy Mark Johnston, I think that will be in 8th place. Simon Trendell 9th and Wojciech Savidovic completing the top 10. Kieran Harrison, he won race 1. He finishes 11th in race 3. Vlad Kimichev in 12th. His teammate, Corentin Guinness, in 13th place. 14th for Dennis Neidhart. Then Mark Woodhouse, the 2nd highest Pro-Am car, in 15th. Matt Turnbull, 16th. Then it's Adam Hadfield, George Simmons there in 18th place. Ben Gregory, Thomas Gerstenberg in 20th. Ross McFarlane, reigning champion, in 21st. Jack Sedgwick in 22nd place. Damien Harris, then Craig Williams, Jamie Wilson, Darius Neidhart, Previn Valler, the Norwegian, in 27th position. Norbert Leitner, who was meant to start on pole, finished 28th. I wonder if there was a pit lane start for him or something that meant that he couldn't take the pole there for race 3. 29th for Toby Ward, and Marius Breuer in 30th. Nathan Davis, 31st, around early on. Michael Avdoka, 32nd. Race 2 and race 3 certainly weren't good for him. Rickard Carlson, the Hell Racers car, 33rd. Then Fraser Smith, Kip Stevens. Race 2 wasn't good for him either. He went backwards in that one. Alex Simpson, 36th. Things were looking good for him for a while, but then a bit of contact in the second half of the race set him back. Jason Sterney, then John Roberts with his blowing engine. Scott Malcolm, then Baron Glover, Simon Field, Oscar Mangan, then Marcel Fritsch. Then it's Facundo Britosh, who came into the pits with something wrong with a couple of laps to go. It might have been due to the amount of incidents he picked up, not sure. Luke Kidsley, 45th, then Sean Gardner, Jamie Rushworth, Lee Berridge, and Pete Newman finishing 49th once again. I think that's the second time he's finished at the back of the field tonight.
Well done, mate. And I think a good birthday present for you. 3 great races, and I think it's gonna carry on at the Circuit de Catalunya, and it is the old layout.
It is, yeah. I've just had a look at that.
And that's going to be very interesting. No tight hairpin at turn 10, but also no chicane leading onto the main straight. So I think there's going to be some decent opportunities to overtake into turn 1. That's for sure.
Maybe even into that final corner.
Yeah, maybe if they get a good exit out of the previous corner, might be able to have a little run. And it could be very, very exciting indeed when we go to Spain next week. But we're going to pick up Kieran Harrison here, as he had a really good day. And Kieran, welcome to the commentary box again. Well, I'd say that was a pretty successful one for you.
Yeah, it's always successful when you manage to keep it clean all 3 races. But yeah, the first race, it's good to get another win. It was made easier, of course, when there was a bit of an incident behind. I think it went at about 3 seconds. Just stayed there. But yeah, really good even for me. I'll take that any day.
Yeah, they were battling very hard in the early going. We're just seeing your start from race 3 on the stream as well, so we'll be able to see that back later from on board. But yeah, as we've spoken before, as obviously a new team coming into the series, that it can sometimes be difficult. But you guys are really smashing it out there, and with Guinness coming in as well, you've added another strong driver.
Yeah, we've added 3 drivers in the last 2 weeks, I think. Team's growing, but yeah, of course, especially with this series, it takes some getting used to the nature of the race, the reverse grid races. But really, you just have to adapt and try and keep it clean. If you keep it clean, you do well. That's the thing. You don't have to necessarily be the fastest to win the championship. Seen by, I think it's Dave Baker's been leading the championship for ages now, and just by finishing in the top 10 every race, it works.
He won a title with only 1 win in the past, so he has done it. And yeah, he's a great model to sort of base your championship on. That is for sure. And we head to the Circuit de Catalunya next week. And is that one that you're familiar with? Is that one that you like?
Yeah, it is actually one I like in this car, especially the historic layout. I believe we're doing. It's my preferred layout for this car. So I'm actually really looking forward to that round as well. I enjoyed this track a lot more than the last one as well. I prefer the traditional sort of race tracks.
Yeah, the Charlotte Roval is always it's a bit polarizing.
Yeah, it's not one for me.
The racing was good, that's for sure. But yeah, the driving part, not so sure about that. But here, I love everything about this track. And seemed like it provided some good racing for you guys out there as well. Well, before we let you go, we'd like you to, if you want to give shout outs to your sponsors, your team, your friends and family, anybody you'd like to, really.
I'd first of all like to apologise to Preben Vala for the last race. I believe I hit him off with a bit of a netcode tap. I don't remember what happened to him, so I hope it wasn't too bad. But yeah, I'd like to thank HM Engineering, all the guys racing this week for us. We did a good job on the setup, I believe. Of course, I'd like to thank you guys and everybody at Apex Racing League, Apex Racing TV, and of course my friends and family for watching along with it.
Perfect. Well, it's always great to have you here in the commentary box, mate, and we hope for more success to come and for you to join us again next time.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers, mate. Kieran Harrison there, Adam, and yeah, strong win and a really strong meeting in general for him.
Yeah, I wonder what that would have done to his potential title aspirations. We'll have to wait and see when the points get updated there, that's for sure.
It wouldn't have hurt them, that's for sure.
Definitely. We do have Ross Balfour, who is in the title contention for another year, ready to talk to us. So let's get him up into the commentary box and hear how things went from his perspective. And he joins us in the commentary box now. Ross, can you hear us, mate?
And more importantly, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Perfect.
Yeah, we can. Well, welcome. Race 3 was pretty good for yourself, up 18 places to get to 7th in the end. And you and your core colleagues, they were everywhere tonight. Laguna Seca looked like a pretty interesting place for you today.
Yeah, this combo was really, really fun. All 3 races went pretty well for me. Qualifying I got extremely lucky in qualifying. It's like my internet blipped out halfway through my lap, and somehow my first few sectors got invalidated, but my lap still counted, which I think saved my week. I had a few bits of bad luck the last few weeks, so that was a good bit of good luck. And then from then, just took it nice and easy. There was a lot of gaggling, but I think all in all, from my perspective anyway, it was a very clean round. I think I was saying to the guys in TeamSpeak earlier, I think this is the highest quality round in terms of driving I've seen, and there'll probably be people laughing at me, and I haven't seen any of the crashes that's probably happened everywhere else, but from my perspective, it was really clean.
How was it out there managing that incident limit? Because 15 around here probably isn't a lot when you factor into the equation. You pretty much are guaranteed an off track if you put 2 wheels off into the dirt around here.
Well, compared to my extremely dirty driver teammates, Oscar and Carl, I think I only had 1 incident point in the last race, which was kind of quite good. But the first couple, I was trying to push to catch Kieran. His pace was insane this week. So it took a while. I think I made the wrong setup choice for race 1, and by the time my tires heated up, he was gone. So no, incidents were okay. I think it's been more difficult in maybe tracks like Zolder, but no, it wasn't too bad.
Very good. Next week then, Barcelona, Catalonia, a bit wider, a bit more opportunity to stretch the legs of the Audi, and we're on the old Grand Prix layout as well. So the run into the final corner could be pretty interesting. No chicane there.
Oh, the Catalonia in this car is so good. We've kind of gone through a few little maybe more technical inverted commas, aka pretty bad tracks from my perspective. So we're finally on the run of really good wide open tracks to kind of sit my driving style and also help for good racing as well. So we've got through all the worst rounds for me personally. So hopefully, I say that I'll probably DNF in every single race next week, but we'll see how it goes.
Well, now that you've cleared it, I think you might be in a good position for the championship. I'm intrigued to see what the difference is between yourself and Baker and the like after this race meeting, because I think quite a few of them have had difficult races to say the least. So we'll wait and see in that one. I think I tried Barcelona in the Audi at the Sim Expo a couple of years back, just before.
Yeah, when this car was in beta,
yeah. God, that was a long time ago. Hopefully we can do that again at some point. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Ross, before we let you go, do you want to send a quick shout out to anyone?
Thanks to the guys at Core Sim Racing again. Big help from Carl and Oscar as always, and thanks for all the guys just racing with tonight. It was really clean, and hopefully we can keep this up for the rest of the season. See you guys.
Yeah, great. Thanks a lot, Ross, and yeah, all the best, and we'll speak to you hopefully again at Barcelona next week.
Cheers, boys.
To Ross there, and yeah, it was good to have him in the commentary box. And yeah, the Sim Expo, I hope we can head back there sooner rather than later. And for the first time in a while, we've got Dave Baker here. Hello, Dave.
Evening, how are you?
Hey, mate. Yeah, it's been a while actually, and good to have you back in the commentary box here. Little bit of the bubbly for you in the last race. Pretty good performance, I think, all round, and did have an issue though earlier on. Take us through your meeting and how it went from your point of view.
No pace. Really, to be honest with you, race 3 was kind of a bit of a fluke. Had a bit of a bad qualifying, kind of getting held up in some traffic. But yeah, so it was kind of down the grid for race 1. Kind of made my way through as people fell off the track when they, get a little bit too close to each other as they tend to do. And then, unfortunately, in race 2, just got sent to the back of the grid with about 3 incidents on the first lap that I just got caught up in. So played it safe to try and get that reverse grid, be up there for race 3 to have a shot of a bit of the bubbly, as you say, and it works out. Had a great fight with sort of JB Mercedes in that one, for like about half a lap or something. We were side by side, and, that's what always makes me sort of smile and think, yeah, it was a good night if I can get something like that in.
From your perspective, not too many rounds to go, and you're in a strong position. I know
Yeah.
you're probably going to give me this slightly boring answer of, I'm going to take it one race meeting at a time, but you must be thinking, I've got a shot here.
In myself, I should have a much big. I mean, everybody has their tales of up and down and all that sort of stuff. And there was one point, I think, where Ross serving a penalty. I think it was at Mosport, and I had the chance to gain a load of points and positions on, and put like a 50-point lead on the championship. But incidents just happen, and then suddenly you come into this race and it's 9 points to gap or something like that. And I say this hasn't been a strong meeting for me. I think when the points are updated, I'm not going to be in P1 anymore, which means I'm going to have to get my elbows out. So it's not going to be one race at a time. It's look at the end. It's close. Elbows out for a change.
Well, Circuit de Catalunya is next, and as we ask everybody, is that a track that you like? Is that one that you are looking forward to?
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I mean, I was very fortunate enough a couple of years ago to get to go and watch the F1 testing there.
Nice.
It's an amazing place, and if anybody gets the chance to do that, once everything passes, I'd really recommend it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's a nice wide track. The cars should be fun to drive there, but they'll go there well, I think, for racing.
Yeah, superb track, and the historic layout as well should provide some good overtaking, we think, into turn 1.
Oh yeah, best chicane for sure.
Oh yeah, I think so. But yeah, Dave, if you want to give your shout outs before you go, mate, it'd be great.
So, the usual shout outs for everybody that's responsible for putting this league on, the broadcasts out. I believe some special birthday wishes are in order to one of the commentators.
Oh.
Right. And then to all the guys at Pure Sims, for the work they do behind the scenes. Just urge anybody.
Adam sounds very young for 45, by the way.
So, congratulations. Yeah, I'd say people might have seen on the Pure Sim social media at the moment, Jake Blackhall's going to be running in the V8 sort of esports series in that, running
Nice.
a special scheme for raising money for breast cancer awareness. So feel free to go check out that, donate if you so wish. And yeah, I guess we'll see you guys at the next round.
Yeah, best of luck to Jake for that. We'll be wishing him well. And yeah, wish you well for the rest of the season, Dave. It's good to see you.
Thank you very much. You enjoy the rest of your night, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers, Dave.
And Adam, I believe you've found Carl Jansen.
Yeah, final word of the day goes to Carl Jansen here. Welcome to the commentary box, mate.
Hello, guys.
Oh, you're getting back into the swing of things here, aren't you? I think this is your second or third meeting back in the car, and it looks like you've never been away.
Yeah, it's the second race now. Yeah, it had some problems with time for this before, but yeah, decided to give it a shot, and it's definitely been worth it.
And how have your core teammates been in Oscar and Ross? Have they been offering you any advice to help you settle back in?
Yeah, it was mostly the starts and stuff like that. Done a lot of TCR racing otherwise, like with Neo and all that, but the standing starts are completely new, and that's a trick to learn. Starting to get better at it now, so should be fine for the rest of the season.
Barcelona next week, and you seem to be improving week on week. Is that another opportunity for you to get some more points on the board?
I definitely think Barcelona will be one of the better tracks to go to. It's a lot of passing opportunities there. Very different from this track for sure, where the passing opportunities wasn't easy to get. It's a bit wider too, so I think the racing there is going to be mega.
I know you drive a lot of other cars aside from this, but after you have a few races in this car, is it kind of difficult to get back to racing some of the more endurance GT racing cars aside from this?
For my side, it's alright. I'm quite alright with changing between cars, so for me it's fine. So yeah, I just enjoy racing a lot of stuff, and this is definitely one of the better places to be racing at. And
final word before we let you go, do you reckon next week we'll see you on the podium, or maybe even a win next time out?
I'm hoping so. It's been close for both these 2 meetings now. But yeah, some more work, and I think I should be there.
Cool. Well, before we let you go, Ross did the honours earlier, but you may as well do it again. Do you want to send any shout outs to the sponsors?
Yeah, same as Ross said. Huge thanks to Core Sim Racing, and also to Logitech G, who's my personal sponsor.
There you go. Well, yeah, thanks for taking the time. Thanks for waiting as well, because yeah, we did take our time to get to you. But yeah, thanks for coming along and having a quick word, Carl. And yeah, we'll hopefully see you on track again next week.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Yeah, good to speak to Carl Janssen there, Adam. We haven't seen him in our commentary box for quite some time, but yeah, he's definitely a force to be reckoned with. And after a few more meetings, I think he's going to be right there.
Looking forward to seeing what he can do. Yeah, next time out. And the fact that you can go from driving a front-wheel drive car one day to going behind a rear-wheel drive, more traditional racing car after that is quite something. So yeah, see what you can do next week.
Yeah, and well, as we said, Barcelona next week should be very good indeed. And well, we're going to step away for today, but thank you for everybody who watched tonight on the iRacing Esports Network and on Apex Racing TV. This has been the Apex Racing League Touring Car Championship. From Andrew Woodhouse and the birthday boy, Adam Bath. Sam Kumo has been providing the coverage for you today as well, so well done to him, as always, for keeping up with all the action. We'll be back next week, so we'll see you next time.